I gotta take a piss.
Not happening.
It's the Andrew Christopher Show.
What's up, man?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Host.
We got another special guest for the first time in a while.
I'm following Fun Bobby, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a tough act.
it is. Mr. Brendan Woodroff.
Hi.
Everybody.
Hi.
Call it the AC Show. Really call it the AC Show.
Nice work. Trying out this new app,
AC Show.
and it fades it out automatically for me.
Oh, that's great.
It's called Boss Jock.
Do you feel like a boss jock?
Yeah, now that I think of what that word means, I do feel like a boss jock.
That's good.
Not much of a jock anymore, more of a boss, dad, bod, jock.
Yeah. But you started jock
Yeah.
and then moved to boss.
Now, it's Boss Jock Junior. So, yeah,
I
guess
wasn't
it
going to
fits.
mention it.
Boss Jock Junior. It works good for drops. Any podcast people out there? I'm just trying it for the first time, but
Are they a sponsor of the show?
no, not yet.
They should be.
Not yet. They should be. Anyway, so you guys got a guest. I know those of you who've been following along. I just finished running through the 3-ish decades of my life. And if you want to check those out, they're on the previous episodes. I kind of went through my life as a young kid, 0 to 10, then as a teen, 11 to 20. Finish it off with my adult life on the last episode. So I haven't had a guest in a while, but stoked to have you in here, Woody. How you doing?
Thanks. I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good, man. Good.
Yeah. This is a privilege.
Why don't you tell the people where are you from? Where were you born? Were you born in Chilliwack?
I wasn't. I was born in BC though. So
Yeah,
born in
okay.
Salmon Arm.
Salmon Arm?
Yeah.
The houseboat capital of Canada, probably the world.
Is it?
Yeah.
One of them at least.
Yeah, for sure. For sure of Canada.
So born in Salmon Arm, was an infant there. Grew up a little bit in Penticton until grade 1, and then Chilliwack, and that's been most of my life.
Gotcha.
A few stints in New West and Surrey, but
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, now I'm back in Chilliwack.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't do it justice of explaining the job title you would say you have right now. An engineer, recorder.
I don't even know. That's the
What
thing.
do you call yourself?
I would say maybe an audio engineer would be the title,
Yeah,
would
there
be
you
the
go.
job, but I find myself doing such a wide variety of things that I don't know. I don't even know what to call myself. I do audio stuff.
Yeah, audio engineering. That covers a lot of it. Of course, Woody played guitar for part of My Striptease. He was picked up along the way as a second guitar player. And he's been recording a lot of my original stuff now. He recorded Gone,
Yes.
which I'll show you guys. And did you do this for me, or did my wife do this for me?
Your wife did that for you, and then you did one like that for me.
Look at that. That's nice, eh?
So I have yours for me on my wall.
So this is my acoustic kind of album that I put out. I don't even know when that was, man. 2012?
I think so. The thing that I remember the most out of anything is that the entire thing was done on one microphone, and it's that microphone.
There we go.
And in my living room
With the fish tank.
with the fish tank running, like it was not a studio by any stretch. It was just the living room.
Yeah.
And it still came out pretty good.
That's funny now that we're talking about background noise. Like the fish tank had a little bit of it. I'm going to text my wife right now and ask her to turn the dryer off, because I put our dryer on to dry some towels. I do a lot of the laundry around here. And it's got this wrinkle shield thing that I don't know how to turn off. So it'll, even when it's finished, every
it
20
comes back
minutes,
on?
it'll come back on forever. And I don't know how to turn it off. So I have to ask her to go and actually turn off the whole dryer. Turn the dryer off, please.
Oh, I was wondering about. Yeah, please is good.
Please is good.
Yeah.
And now you see I sent a redhead emoji because in Haven's class, there's this redhead girl that she knows from kindergarten. That's why I
fun.
sent that.
Yeah.
Nothing creepy. Don't
No,
worry.
whatever, man. You live your life.
So yeah, Woody and I we played music together first. I guess actually I kind of met you before you joined the band because
Yeah.
you were friends with the guys.
Yeah,
part
I
of
knew
My
them.
Striptease.
And I was playing in my first band with some other folks, and we played a show together
Yeah.
at the Backstage Lounge
Yeah.
for a sold out crowd of like 17.
Yeah.
There's a few people.
Yeah, we brought a few.
And,
I mean, we were both bands from Chilliwack. I
Yeah.
don't know what draw they expected us to have out in Vancouver,
not much.
but we did okay.
We did fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
And then I think Aaron reached out to me
Yeah.
about it.
We'll get into a lot more of that, I think, because I was hoping this was going to be the Pardon My Striptease reunion show.
Right, yeah.
I want to get all the guys in here and have a chat with everybody about the Pardon My Striptease days, because we had a good run of 6 or 7 years, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll talk a lot more about that stuff on that episode. And that was what this was supposed to be, but then Adam
That's
said
how I made it.
Adam said no, and Dylan said no, and I didn't ask Aaron. So Aaron, if you're watching this, I'll ask you next time once I get the yes from those other guys.
Yes. Yeah.
So we'll figure that one out soon.
But
Anyway.
Aaron's doing audio engineering too. So
He is.
This could have been an audio engineering show too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been fun,
Technical.
interesting, technical. Yeah, way over my head.
Yeah.
So before we get too much more into yourself and how we know each other, I want to get these errors and omissions out of the way from my previous shows. I started doing this. Do you know this segment from TSN 1040? Have you heard it
I
before?
don't think I've heard it. No, I don't think I've heard it. No.
Yeah, because I'm wondering. Soon I'll get a cease and desist letter, I'm sure.
Probably.
But at least that means I've got their attention.
And they're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, errors and omissions. There weren't really many. I'm gonna try this anyways. We'll see if we get it set up quick. So I missed my sister Lisa's wedding, but that's because when I asked her, she didn't even know when she got married. I don't know. She's weird like that. She was like, "Oh, I couldn't remember the date," and
All right.
I was like, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna leave it out, I guess." I actually forgot because I think it is May of 2006, so it should have been in decade 2. My sister Lisa got married, and now she's divorced. That may have been part of the other reason I was leaving.
She
it
may
out.
not have wanted to talk about it too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But she brought it up, and then my mom
okay.
brought it up, so I was like, "Okay, I better mention Lisa. I love you too. I guess is what I'm supposed to say."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love all my sisters and my mom. The next one I do want to talk about. This is a gentleman. So when I was with the original Chelsea, my high school sweetheart, we were kind of off and on. And she, on one of our offs, she started seeing this other guy. His name was Warren. And I was heartbroken, obviously, just jealous. One of those things, wanting what you can't have. Been there?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. So we ended up at the river, because in Agassiz, that's what you do. You go down to the river.
Yeah.
And you make a fire, and you drink beers when you're underage, and people fight. I wasn't a fighter. I told a story about my fight with that Braden guy. It wasn't really a fight, and I never really got in fights. But I had to prove something to this Warren guy, because he showed up with Chelsea, and maybe I had had a few beers. And they were holding hands, and it was just digging at me. So I walked up, turned him around, punched him in the face, dragged him to the ground, and we just kind of wrestled a bit on the rocks at the river. And then I wrote a song about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've heard this song.
I've
heard most of your songs. I don't think I've heard this one.
I'm not going to do the whole thing.
All right.
Because it's a bit vulgar, and some might say it's racist. But not really. No. It's not at all.
It
What-
probably
what's the word
wasn't
I'm
until
looking
you
for?
said that.
No. It just talks about Dutch people.
Yeah.
But so is that?
Yeah.
Anyway,
We're just
I'm
taking
not gonna
ourselves
sing that
deeper.
part.
Let's.
But there goes
Owl
one of the
down.
owls. I know. This is the hardest part of the AC show, is getting this live music set up for you guys. So I hope the listeners head to YouTube and actually watch, because there's some live music that's going to happen now and then at the end of the show with one of Woody's tunes.
Yeah.
And now I just realized I didn't practice or remember what key I wrote this in, but I'm just going to give it a go. Let's see here. Yeah. And then it goes F, C, no. It's so weird.
You got it. You got it.
Anyway, so here it is. Chelsea left me for this Warren guy. I'll sing you a little bit. If you want the real deal, you got to ask for it live, because, I'm not going to sing the whole thing. It's kind of mean. It's kind of cheesy, and my mom would really not like it. There's already an F-bomb coming up, so check it out.
told me that she loved me, but the very next thing she said was, I don't think we should hang out anymore.
Oh, girl.
Boy, how I wish that fucker was dead. So Chelsea, you're just lucky I'm too drunk to write the song about you. So I wrote it about that stupid punk. An inspiration, thy name is vodka. I know this song sucks, but I don't give a fuck.
Nice. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad, considering the circumstances.
I know, and that's one of the first songs I ever wrote. I'm pretty proud of it.
You probably would have had
It was a big party hit with all my friends.
I know. You should have released it. It
Yeah.
would have been a big hit.
Maybe it'll be a bonus track on the Parliament of Vowels.
That's a good idea.
if we make some of the other lyrics a bit more politically correct.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have to change his name so it's not actually Warren, or
I don't know how
say
that
it
works.
later. I don't say his last name.
Does he like pay attention to your existence?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
All right, then you're probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no last names, no identifying. Maybe switch Warren to
Warrant?
yeah,
Or
there-
Glorin. Glorin.
Glorin's
Because
a
it
good
needs
one.
to rhyme. There's a rhyme with Warren. So
Right.
Glorin. Yeah, we'll call him Glorin. The Glorin song.
Yeah, you're safe.
All right. Maybe released on the Parliament of Owls album as the bonus track, but probably not. Next time you see me, ask me to sing it. I love playing it. It gets some chuckles out of the crowd. I'll play you the rest of it after this.
That's perfect.
Yeah. And sorry about the swear word, Mom. Thank you for always watching and listening. So there you go. That's really all I had for errors and omissions.
That's pretty good.
Sister's wedding,
pretty
and then
short.
this Warren guy really rattled me. But then she left him and came back to me. Of course.
Was it the song?
Maybe it was the song.
might have been.
And she actually liked the song. So yeah, obviously I did.
Because he didn't
something right.
slide her in the song. He just,
Yeah, exactly.
if you weren't too drunk to write the song about her, then she wouldn't have come back because you would have written it about her.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving along.
Yeah.
Next, guess what?
Family time.
Family time, family time. Ooh, 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 it's family time.
It's family time!
Yes, it is. I
the
forgot
best part.
about that part. Yes, it is. It's family time. Woody and I are both family men.
Yes.
So you've got like 3 kids now,
Yeah.
stepdaughters.
Yes.
How old are they and names?
Lux is turning 6 in 22 days.
Yeah.
Because we count that every day.
22 days.
Leota just turned 4, and Lemmy is 2.5.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
It's cool, eh?
Yeah.
It's crazy. All girls.
All girls.
Cool names. All girls.
Yeah.
I've got a boy on the way.
Yes. Congratulations.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. But so we're both family guys. And Woody actually brought this up as a good topic. We're going to talk about the kids bringing home sickness epidemic
Oh,
that is plaguing parents
it's a problem.
around the world.
I don't think enough people talk about this.
No, man. There's got to be some way of, like if there's a sick kid at school, maybe all the kids have to stay at school for like a week. They don't come home.
That's a good
The
idea.
teachers have to be there full time, take care of them. They do take shifts, night shifts. Kids sleep there.
And they share a hazmat suit.
Yeah. Until the virus is gone.
Yeah.
And then the kids come home.
That's a proper containment procedure. I think that would pass.
So, I just thought of this. So who do we have to talk to about this?
Because I'll tell you something.
Is it Trudeau? Do we have to talk to Trudeau?
Maybe it goes to like the World Health Organization.
WHO?
We could go
The WHO?
over his head, the WHO.
Yeah.
Because right now, if someone's like a little sick,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to send them because obviously you just infect everybody else and the whole world gets sick.
Yeah.
But then what? They stay home and they don't feel sick enough to like be sick and just chill. They're just literally sprinting around, getting everybody else infected and burning themselves out. So
Yeah.
yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, I think we're on.
Then they don't miss any lessons either. That's the real
Yeah.
problem. Is that when they're staying home sick, not only do we get sick, but they miss out on valuable education time.
Yeah. Like I think they're learning the alphabet probably now, and
Yeah.
Well, Haven and I think
Lux,
Jaden
yeah.
already knows it.
Jaden's probably good. on that. I saw her reading something off the desk here. So I think she's
pretty
fine.
good. There you go. So there's one option.
Yeah.
One way you might be able to get taken care of, and then parents get so much free time.
Well, I didn't want to bandwagon on that part. I thought it might sell better.
Yeah. Keep
if we
that
pitched
quiet.
it from the like teaching part of it.
But Trudeau's a parent too. He might be all over
And
it.
a teacher.
And a teacher. Oh, so that's bad.
Yeah.
No, he's not teaching anymore.
No, but he was a teacher.
Yeah. So he'll be against
Either
it.
way.
You're right. Go over his head. Let's go over his head.
Yeah.
Let's go straight to Donald Trump.
I don't know how that'll go.
I don't know how that's over his head either. But
Yeah. Seems there.
he'll just build a wall around the schools.
That might work.
Keep your sick kids in there.
I had
Build the
another
wall.
thought. And I thought this might be too cruel, right? I thought this might be like looked upon poorly, but like an airlock system. You know how like when highly sensitive areas of say a hospital or something, they go in, they get sprayed down or whatever, and then they enter the room. I don't know. I think that might
Having
be
those in your home, you
like at the front door or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
or a side door. But I thought that
like a
might be
sanitization station.
kind of rough. Yeah,
Yeah.
like we have a mud room as it is,
Yeah.
which is supposed to be that.
My
for
wife
dirt.
always talks about those too. I never. It's
I don't
it's
get
just
it.
like an entryway, right?
Yeah,
It's a
we
mudroom.
have in our backyard. We have our
okay,
door
yeah.
from our patio.
Yeah, right.
And then right beside it is a door 90 degrees to it that just goes into the laundry room first.
just for dirty kids
I guess we don't open it. We put a couch in front of it
for the muddy boots.
on our patio. So I've never
so
opened
it's not
the door.
really a mudroom
No,
anyway.
I thought that maybe if that was a containment room.
Yeah, I know because when we were looking for houses, Jamie was always like, "Oh, and this one's got a mud room, and I need a mud room." And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about, babe. It just looks like a laundry room to me."
Yeah, it's a laundry room with a door to the outside.
Oh, okay.
I guess if you were literally soaked in mud and you needed to come in the house and you can't get naked outside.
So you take your clothes off,
in
put them
there,
right in the laundry.
Yeah, then you're fine.
Yeah.
And then you like streak through the house to get dressed again or something, unless you keep your clothes in the laundry room, which most people do.
So we could set up a sanitization station in the mud rooms.
Yeah.
It's another option.
Yeah,
I didn't know we were going to go through options, but those are two good ones.
that's
are good
more
options.
than I thought we'd come up with.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. So I'm wondering, what do you do to avoid this sickness?
I fail at it.
Yeah, me too.
That's currently what I do.
Constantly.
I try and drink as much water as I can, especially if one of them starts coughing. And then they'll be like, when one of them starts to get sick, just a little bit sick, the first thing I want is to sit as close to you as possible, which is fine. It's sweet. It's nice, but don't get me sick.
Like the weirdest thing I find is, and I mean, I think it's warranted. It's like especially Jamie or whatever, and I do the same thing. It's like you still kiss your kids or you still hug them or whatever, because it's like, wow, if the germs are here, we're gonna get them regardless. So still,
You just go all in.
give them cuddles and smooches, and
Yeah.
and I'm just like, well, that's weird. If you don't want to get sick, maybe you shouldn't kiss your kid who's got snot all over his face.
So that's the first thing that you do. You'd say that to anybody outside of your house, and you go home and you're like, well, here we go.
Yeah. So
I'm
I guess
boned
we're
anyways, I can't
we're
win.
not really helping ourselves. But
No.
I'm on a strict regime of vitamins and stuff, but it's not been working. It's like I find I do a good job of fighting it off for like a week, maybe even 2 weeks, and I'm like, I did it, and now I got to remember exactly what I did to fight off this sickness. But then it just hits me.
Yeah, it comes later.
Comes later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not sick right now, so
No, I'm just getting over it. I feel better.
that's good.
Yeah, I do feel a lot better. I went on a string of antibiotics, so that's why we're celebrating, because now I can drink. I was drinking anyways, but because it was my sister's wedding last week. Oh yeah,
You can't not, and that's a big topic.
it was. Yeah, my sister's wedding. A bit. That's still family time.
Yeah.
So my sister Carolyn got married, and I was MC. It was great. We had a good time. I had to sing a worship song at the church, and then took over MCing and DJing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that. DJ iPhone.
Yeah,
That was nice.
DJC.
Yeah.
DJC. That's what I go by. My DJ name. DJC.
Now, how do you spell it? Do you spell it like DJAYC or something? Like,
Yeah, it was like D space JAY space C.
Right.
I think that's what I came up with.
Yeah. Like
DJC.
Homer J. Simpson.
Yeah.
DJC.
I know it doesn't really make sense, but that's what I go by.
All right.
So it was a good time. Yeah, it was a beautiful wedding. They had cereal before the wedding,
Ooh.
like all these different kinds of cereal, and we got to take some home.
I like cereal.
Yeah. Oh, my mom. This reminds me, Mom. You said you were going to give me a bunch of that beer that you got to take home. She got to, because they didn't finish all the beer and they were just giving away booze and stuff. And they gave a bunch of the beer to my mom. And she was like, Andrew, come by and get it.
Yeah.
So I'm coming. Don't drink that all.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I'll be there first.
Yeah. I think it was Bombers because my sister's husband, he's a coffee roaster. I was going to say brewer.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, I'm sure he brews coffee as well. But so he makes specialty coffees.
Yeah.
It's at a few restaurants and stuff. And Canuck Empire Brewing,
Okay.
they make a beer with his coffee. So he supplies the coffee, and they make this coffee stout, and it was awesome. So there's a bunch of bombers of that and something else. And so my mom took them home. I'm coming for them. Don't drink them all.
Wicked.
Okay, that's the end of family time.
All right.
Good job.
Yeah, right on.
Oh, that'll be good to line up the audio.
That'll help later. Yeah. I wasn't going to say that at the start. I was like, I wonder how he lines it all up. Trial and error or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right.
So one thing I did want to cover about our Pardon My Striptease days was Woody and I took on the task of doing these acoustic cover series videos.
And they were fabulous.
I'm gonna put one right here or there or wherever I put
Like
it.
chop one in?
Yeah, I'll chop one in, just like a clip of it. Yeah, actually.
So should we like freeze?
Yeah, let's take 20 seconds right now,
Okay.
and I'll find a good clip and put it in there. So check this out. We could have a drink.
Yeah. Right on.
Maybe glycerine. No. Or the Not Afraid one with you on piano is pretty good.
That was good. And the Fix You turned out pretty good too.
Yeah.
That was a bit more.
I should have had them queued up so we were watching them, but I'll just it'll be there.
Chop in what, a minute of it or?
Anyway, that's probably enough.
Yeah, all right. We're back.
We're
Yeah.
back. So
All
I
right.
hope you
You
guys
know-
enjoyed that.
I hope you actually don't crop anything in and people just see us sit here talk about it and they're like, what the fuck are they doing?
What are they talking about? So I should have had it on my phone so we were watching it, but I didn't do that. So I'll just have to pick one, put it in there. It'll work good.
It'll be fun.
Okay, so yeah, I thought those were pretty funny.
Yeah.
We did one because a guy donated $500 to the Children's Hospital or to like the Love for Lily kind of thing that was going
Funds that went to children's.
on. Rod Warham, shout out. Thanks, buddy. And that was when we did Glycerin by Bush.
Right.
We did Not Afraid.
Yeah.
What else did we do?
We did Fix You.
Yeah, we did
did-
Fix You. That was a good one.
We did 3 a.m.
Because we did Fix You for my friend Hannah, whose daughter also had cancer and passed away. No, it wasn't 3 a.m.
Real World.
It was Real World
Yeah.
by Matchbox 20.
Yeah.
And we did Time of Your Life by Green Day.
Yeah.
I think that's
I think that was
Lightning Crashes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Dylan did a drum cover that he slotted
Yeah.
in at some point.
Yeah, that was cool.
Was it?
Heads Will Roll or no?
No, it
was
was
before that.
I thought it was a Them Crooked Vultures song or something,
Yeah.
or a Volbeat song maybe.
Yeah. Those can be found on the Pardon My Striptease
Yes.
YouTube page.
Yes.
Which I went and checked out the other day. And there's some gold on
There's
there.
some good stuff. That
Yeah.
20 strong live video at Joe's.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, so after this is done, you guys should head to the Pardon My Striptease YouTube channel and check some of those out for some nostalgia. But when we have the reunion show, we'll probably post a lot of those videos. I'll make the guys watch it.
And if you know anybody who subscribes to Pardon My Striptease, but not to the AC show,
yeah.
tell
Andrew
them
Christopher.
to subscribe to this guy.
Subscribe. Thank you very much, Woody.
Yeah.
So, what's a little bit, we kind of got into your music history. There's lots I don't even know about you because I don't really talk to my friends.
Yeah,
Right.
I do the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that just don't, are not chatty.
So I would like to know,
Sure.
how did you get started in music? Like, what was your first instrument? Were you in a band before the Two Words or whatever? Or we can talk a bit about them. Going through high school, you know, you're doing barbershop stuff too.
I did.
or- so where
So-
was the start? Would you think?
I know grade 4 we had the recorder. Everybody has the recorder.
Yeah.
I overachieved a little bit at that, I think.
Wow.
We had a little Casio piano that had built-in songs in it at home.
Yeah.
And so I would hit the built-in song button and pretend to play it.
Can I cut you off for a second?
Yeah.
Just because you said Casio piano.
Yeah.
And it reminded me, I've been asking people, and I didn't know, but there was a third pronunciation. How do you say Cassiopeia?
I thought it was Cassiopeia.
Yeah. Or is it Cassiopeia?
I don't think so.
And Dylan says, Dylan said it's something weird, Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia. No, Cassiopeia.
Like stress on the O.
Yeah,
Cassiopeia.
he had 2 like extra stresses. We're gonna have to ask Dylan, and I'll let you guys know. But it was so Cassiopeia. Some people say Cassiopeia.
Really?
Yeah,
I never heard that. Maybe it's right. I don't want to say it's wrong, but I've never heard that.
yeah. Cassiopeia. No, Cassiopeia. That's Cassiopeia's right. I think Jamie says it differently. You say Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia, yeah.
It's the
gotta be.
constellation, and it's a girl from Abbotsford, this artist that we played with, and I told you this, right?
Yeah.
And she was on the launch, CTV the launch, and she
thought I
actually made it.
recognized that,
She made
yeah.
it through. She won her episode or whatever. Our other, well, actually, he's not even my friend. I don't know him at all. But another Abbotsford guy, Ben Cottrell.
Cottrell, yeah.
I haven't met him yet. I'm sure we would be friends. Hey, Ben. I just haven't met him, but he was on as well.
Yeah.
But I don't.
And
think he won
Dylan played on
episode.
his record.
Yeah, Dylan played on his
Which
record.
is the connection.
Tie it all in.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, man. So
Yeah.
Casio piano.
Casio piano and like a Sears nylon string guitar. And my mom had those, and she sort of played. I don't know what the extent of her playing was, because she always was like, "Oh no, I don't play," but she had them. So you know, are you just being shy? What, I don't know. She never really revealed herself as far as her playing goes. So I'd play around on those, and then grade 7 drums, and middle school you're picking drama or band, and I was like, well, I was very shy. And so band seemed like the right choice. So I went to the band instrument selection day where you play everything or whatever. Yeah. And the only thing I could play on that first day was the trombone, and I could make a noise out of it. Yeah, and I couldn't make a noise out of anything else. So I was like, well, obviously this is the one for me. And so I played trombone for a lot of years. And then, was it grade 10? 9 or 10? I think it must have been grade 10. I bought my own guitar, saved up like birthday and allowance money, things like that, and bought my first guitar. It was a Yamaha RGX 121S.
So that's an electric.
It's an electric guitar. It was like a like sparkle blue finish.
You still had it.
I still have it. Oh yeah.
Of course.
Actually, there was a long period. It was like, why do I have this? And now that I've sort of come full circle into music professionally, I'm like, I'm glad I still have this. I don't use it. I'm just stoked to have it.
Yeah, that's cool. But you could like kind of fix it up if you wanted to.
Sure, it still plays.
Make it sing. But
yeah, it's fine.
yeah. Okay, there you go. So first guitar, grade 10.
I think it was grade 10. And so did guitar and did every music class I possibly could in high school. So my grade 11, I was in
So there was
Cornell.
more than one music class in your school?
There was.
I was lucky.
class
In mine, and that was it.
So I did band in grade 10. Grade 11, family moved up to Cornell for the year.
Right.
And so there wasn't really a lot of electives there. I took their only band class. That was a 1-band class town.
Yeah.
So I took their only band class, and there are no electives. There wasn't anything that I thought was fun or interesting. So I just doubled down on academics. So I took my English 12 and all of that in grade 11 in my second semester.
Oh,
'Cause
interesting.
what else was I going to do?
Like frickin' Doogie Howser or something.
Trying.
Eh? Yeah.
So I didn't realize it, but in the summer after grade 11, in the mail, I got my transcript saying I technically had graduated. But I was like, well, I didn't graduate, though. I didn't do the thing. So with permission, I was able to move to Chilliwack and live with one of my friends. And
So your family was still in Quesnel?
they were still in Cornell.
Oh.
And so one of my high school friends, it was Ken Simpson, and I moved in with his family, and they had like a basement sort of suite thing that I sort of rented off them, and did grade 12 in Chilliwack again, so I could graduate with my friends and whatnot.
Cool.
So my grade 12 schedule was band, jazz band, vocal jazz, guitar, strings, and there was one more.
That's awesome.
Can't remember what it was.
Composition or something?
It was something. I
there
can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
It was musical. I can't remember what it was. There was
That's
there was
crazy
some other
though,
one.
man,
So
to have 5 even music classes?
yeah, and that was it. I had that.
Yeah.
That was my whole grade 12 year.
Wow.
So I sort of really got into it from there.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of it. It kind of all came up to that, and then it was like, wow, I graduated. Now what? And I just started working.
Yeah, okay, so then moving into the work side of things,
Yeah.
you had already been at Safeway for a little while then, or?
Not in grade 12. So out of grade 12,
out of grade 12.
I was at Staples and Stream,
Nice.
And
Stream. My
then-
sister worked there.
Yeah.
Lisa. I
And
wonder
it's
if you
sort
guys
of
ever
like-
crossed paths.
Oh, probably. There's how many 1,000 people work there or whatever? I'm sure we did.
That place would hire anybody.
That churned through people,
Yeah.
which is fine. But
And it's like, what is it? A call center,
Call
right?
center, yeah.
For IT stuff.
yeah, so they subcontracted. I had to sign an NDA. I can't tell you the name,
Oh,
but I
yeah,
mean, it's
okay,
been
okay.
15 years. I'm sure it's invalid now. But companies like HP and Compaq, they were separate back then,
Yeah.
and
People would call
Microsoft.
and say, my
Yeah.
printer's not working.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
And you'd say, is it plugged in?
Step number one. So I was on HP laptop. So if people had laptop issues, they would phone and I would take their call. And it'd be stuff like, my internet's not working. And I would be like, cool, well, let's start at the start. Just want to make sure that you see the icon in the top right corner of the screen. It looks a little bit like a microphone with broadcast lines around it. And they're like, I don't see anything. It's black. I go, okay, well, is it turned on? Push the power button and seriously. But in that era, those laptops actually had a Wi-Fi button because Wi-Fi wasn't it wasn't an obvious thing then.
No.
It was like an add-on. If you had a rich house, you had Wi-Fi.
Right, because it was all landlines.
Yeah. And so there was a button for Wi-Fi that would frequently not be on.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, push the button. Is it lit up now? It lights up. Their Wi-Fi comes in like, oh, wow, So,
Thanks, Woody.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next week.
yeah, pretty much. So I left there. I kind of ceilinged out at those places and went to Safeway, who had offered me a future in management. And so I started there and
Yeah, it was a long
spent
run.
11 years.
11 years.
11 years.
Wow, good for you, man. And I mean, that was it's a solid, obviously a solid company to work for. A good career,
Yeah.
good benefits.
Everybody has like the minor day-to-day complaints. Like there was work days that sucked. There were work days that were great. But on the whole, you look at it like, what did they offer? How did they change my life? What did I get out of the deal?
Yeah.
I was very fairly compensated. They paid everybody well.
Yeah.
Benefits, stock options, bonuses, things like that. I mean, I didn't get a lot of them, but I got some. So, which is more than a lot of jobs.
Yeah. And so fast forward, you just, I guess towards the end of Safeway, or no, well, let's talk about a bit more the music during Safeway.
Sure.
So the 2 Words, was that your first band?
I had.
Or were you jamming
I think that
before
was
that?
the first band I played a show of any notability with.
Yeah. Okay.
I had some high school things where we played I don't think it was an assembly. We played in the gym when there was an optional meeting in the gym or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were the first band that I actually joined, and that was a breakup sort of scenario. Just was breaking up with somebody, felt like I wasn't taking my life in the right direction. I was getting really frustrated with myself and started just doing things like that.
Which is good.
Yeah. So
Outlets.
I started just reaching out for things. I was like, I want to do music. Why am I not doing music? I don't know what to do. And so I joined a band to play bass, the 2 Words. I knew Diane, who was singing for it from Safeway, because she worked at my Starbucks for about a year.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So that's how you knew Diane. It
That's
wasn't
how
a
I
high
knew her.
school Diane?
No, I didn't know her from high school.
Okay, cool.
I knew her from work there, and then it was after she quit at some point. I think she posted on Facebook she needed a bandmate or something like that.
Yeah.
And they needed a bass player. And I had never played bass and didn't own a bass.
Oh,
and
really?
so I joined the band to play bass.
Yeah. And you've become pretty good at it.
I'm all right.
Woody
I'm not-
played bass on This Beach
Yes.
by Parliament of Owls, which
Yes.
is released. Yeah, you played bass on that. Sounds great.
I
You record a lot of bass stuff
I've
now,
played
right?
bass on a lot of things. Played bass on the Plans and Disguises record.
Yeah, that's right.
I played bass bits and pieces on Your Things Where Needed, or like punches and stuff. Most years was done by Brandon, but if there was little spots here and there, I've done session bass playing.
Nice.
I've had people in Singapore seek me out for bass, which is weird, but I'll take it.
So you were playing bass with the 2 Words.
Yeah.
That was fine.
It
was cool.
It was
That's awesome
cool.
for you guys.
One
That
of-
was your first real band
and
playing
it was,
shows.
It was out of high school, already out of high school. We were playing shows in bars. Everyone was of age. We were getting paid. I remember the first show I played with them.
Getting paid.
They had
booze.
a 3-set show at Corky's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was on, I think, a Sunday, but Remembrance Day was the next day or something.
Getting
And
drunk with the vets.
We didn't expect anybody to be there. And at Corky's, normally just the bottom's open, and the downstairs and the upstairs were packed.
I remember. I don't know if I came. For some reason I think I remember
you
this,
did,
but
because I remember talking to you guys not long after, and you're like, "Yeah, we stopped in," and we were like, "How did you draw this many people?" We fluked. I don't know how it happened.
Right on.
There was no like system. It just we had a full crowd, and they loved every second of it. And we played reasonably. There was mistakes. There were things here and there, but we got through our set.
There always is.
And they were wild, and that just changed my life. That was like, I can't not do this.
That's cool, man.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. So you were still at Safeway though,
Yeah.
And doing music, and then I was playing with Pardon My Striptease with Dylan and Adam and Aaron as a 4-piece. And then how did that happen? Like, I know we tried out a few other guys.
Yeah.
And who did you know best out of the PMS guys?
I knew Aaron the best because we were same grade, had a lot of similar like music classes.
Yeah.
I knew Dylan a bit because partially of Aaron, partially in middle school, I think it was, from jazz band, because the jazz bands usually cross grades.
Yeah.
And he was, what was the other guy's name? Brandon McKay was the other drummer we usually had, but then Dylan would sometimes be there. And then Dylan, I think, like skyrocketed past him and whatnot. But I knew them a bit. But I think the first thing that happened is you were recording the Chilliwack Bruins theme song.
Yeah.
And I think Dylan or Aaron, one of the two of them, reached out to me because you needed gang vocals.
Oh, yeah.
And I was working in Coquitlam.
Yeah.
So I drove out to the factory after work one day and did gang vocals with you guys. And then I think we had a show, the one I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Were we on air then? I don't remember. I think we had a show, the Backstage Lounge one.
Yeah.
And then I played bass there and had one song I played guitar in because I just forced it. I was like, I'm playing guitar in one song.
Yeah.
And then
So did we scoop you right out? Oh, yeah. You were in both bands for a while, right?
for a bit,
Yeah.
I was trying to navigate it politely because I didn't want to just bail on them.
But you saw a pretty good thing over
But
on our
it was
side.
a pretty exciting opportunity. So I was like, hey, this isn't me like leaving this band. I've just been asked to play in this. There's no problem to do both. If something comes up conflict-wise, we'll figure it out. But FYI, I can't say no to this.
Yeah, and then we did, as PMS get pretty busy and start doing quite a bit.
Well, you guys were hot off
great.
Seeds. You had a good Seeds run, and it
yeah.
was maybe a month or two after that this all started. And then played my first show with you was a New Year's Eve show.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk a lot more about that.
Yeah,
PMS reunion show, hopefully within the next month
or year
something.
or whatever.
But, so and then we will fast forward. After PMS broke up, we didn't break up. We just stopped. It was a good breakup.
To a natural
Came
conclusion.
to a natural conclusion. You were constantly sending me stuff and being like, "Hey, we should do something. We should write. We should write." And then it just wasn't working out in my time in that life.
Yeah.
And you and Dylan took it to the next level, just as you two.
Yeah.
And this is where Plans and Disguises came from, right?
So we were both not wanting it to end, but obviously understanding where you were at. Like it just wasn't it wasn't happening, and that's fine. You know, we were like, okay, well, we don't want to stop. So how do we do this? We've never done this. We've written songs, and I sort of was dabbling in recording, and I was like, I've recorded demos. And we just started working on songs, and we were like, well, we have one song. Can we get someone to mix it?
What was that first song?
That was Ask.
Right on. Let's do it.
Wait,
Plans and Disguises.
waiting for this. Watching for signs to come and signals
Cheers,
that I
buddy.
might miss. Time, no time like today, to try and make sense of all the reasons why we couldn't stay. Now I'm lost in myself,
Show the people what we're drinking.
Yeah.
and I
I love that fade out.
right?
Yeah.
So that's Plans and Disguises.
Yeah.
So that's you singing,
Yeah.
Dylan doing some of the backup vocals with
Yeah.
you. You played bass, you said.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dylan played the drums.
Yeah.
You did the synths and guitar stuff. And
We split a lot of the stuff out.
Yeah,
So it was a lot of in the same room. I had a lot of the equipment and more of the synth patches and stuff, and we'd like back and forth on ideas and
Cool, yeah.
and whatnot. So it was just like the two of us just diving into a project and trying to, I don't know, explore it. I'd never sang on a recording prior to that.
no, so this was a big step for you.
That was the first thing.
And eventually, you guys got a full album together.
Yeah.
How many songs was the album?
10.
10 songs.
10 songs on the record.
Just to make sure people know, so Dylan Waitman,
Yes.
who played drums with Pardon My Striptease and still performs with me all the time, and in Big Shiny. So it was Woody and Dylan Waitman,
Yes.
who were this duo,
Yes.
who put out all this full album.
This pop record.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Another one I wanted to play a little bit
Well,
of
featuring you.
because, interestingly enough, it was originally written and recorded as a Pardon My Striptease song.
Yes.
But this was towards the end, and we never released it because we ceased to exist.
Yeah, the band ended.
And so it was just sitting there, but we had paid a pretty penny to write and record this song.
Yeah.
And so the guys asked us if they could put it on their record, and of course we said yes.
Put a feature, at least get it out in the air, right?
Yeah, so featuring Andrew Christopher.
Yeah, great tune, too.
It's awesome. So
Yeah.
we wrote this song with Ryan Dahl.
Yes. Ryan Dahl, Limblifter, Mounties, Age of Electric. And produced. Yeah.
Can't sing that.
Producer
though.
for
I'll get
Chaos and
flagged.
Hawksley Workman. Steve Bays played
Yeah.
keyboards on that. Like,
So
it was
phenomenal songwriter.
Yeah.
We brought him like bare bones, and it sounded nothing like this. And
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh, why don't we do this completely different?" And
Yeah.
thanks. Here
Yeah,
you go.
that's wicked.
Here's a song for you guys. So this is Sunrise, and these are obviously available Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. Sunrise. Yeah, I love this tune.
This is good.
Don't you play, disappear. It's great, I love it here. Hummingbird, humming, heart-shaped box. On the tempo of future clocks. And we listen up above, like a pair of paradox. We always film and press record.
Sorry, Mom.
But what the fuck for? And we fight to be there. Fight. You make the sunrise rise.
It's too bad you can't like skip ahead in Boss Jock because the bridge of that song
I know.
is so good.
If I was better prepared, I would have had these like
That's
clipped
fine.
to our favorite.
That just
spots.
means everyone has to go and check it out. And just like the bridge of
right.
Sunrise is special.
Yeah,
Oh.
it is. So that's Plans and Disguises. Kind of, you guys put out a full record, played a couple
Yep.
shows.
Yeah.
Got some good stats on Spotify and those kind of things.
Yeah.
A bit of notoriety there.
We're doing all right.
Yeah, and it's so the status of Plans and Disguises. There's been no official breakup, but it's kind of been stagnant. Not too much going on right now.
We're living in mystery at the moment.
Oh, yes.
The shield is up.
Hence the name.
Yes. Yeah.
Plans,
Exactly.
but they're disguised.
That's right. Nobody knows what's going on.
Nobody knows. Not even
Not
Dylan
even
and
either of
Woody.
us. No.
Because
Yeah.
Dylan started doing a bit of solo stuff.
Yes.
You also kind of started doing a bit of solo
Yeah.
stuff. But so before that, let's talk about you leaving Safeway
Yeah.
to get to where you are now.
Okay. So around the time that I met Carly, who
Yes.
is my wife.
My wife.
Yes.
My wife.
My wife. She is very encouraging. Very encouraging. And for a long time, I wanted to pursue the technical side of music because doing that Plans and Disguises record, started doing some of the recording at my place. We did all the demoing at my place, and I really started to understand that I actually had a bigger skill set with recording than I thought I did.
Yeah.
I actually was a lot further along than just a kid cutting demos in like a basement. I was doing nearly professional work.
Yeah.
So
Because before this, you helped me Well, okay, so it was the Gone CD.
Yes.
But then we started working on This Beach.
Yes.
Or is that before or after? I guess that was after.
That was after. But
Okay, yeah,
you were
never
doing demos,
Yeah.
country demos.
Yes, right.
And doing like songwriting submissions for placement and things like that. And so
Yeah,
we did
yeah.
some of that.
We did. Yeah.
The turning point for me was that a lot of the tracks that Dylan and I recorded at my place ended up being used in that record because they were all fine. Like they were all good enough recordings that we didn't need to redo it. And it opened my eyes a lot. So she was very forceful in her encouragement. She was like, if you want to do this, why are you not doing it? And I always had an excuse. I was like, oh, well, this, Bill or this or this or this. She's like, no. It's not how it works. There will always be
You
something.
think Safeway is going to run itself, Carly? Leave me alone.
There's
going to
multi-billion-dollar
Safeway.
organization. They need me. So she was like, no, you just pick a date and go. Like, that's it. Just pick a date and make it happen. Whatever date it is, but then there's no turning back. Pick the date, write the resignation, submit it, leave. And so I was like, oh. She's like, no, you don't have a choice. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'm doing this then. And that was it. That was the transition. I mean, from an emotional understanding side of things, Safeway was just bought by Sobeys. They had a big integration of the company changing over that I had to coach my store and my team on how to get through and things. And it was not a positive one. It was pretty botched as far as integration goes. They had to write off $5 billion of value in the company, things like that. No big deal. It was awful. And so I started getting nervous about my future. Like I was doing very well. I was one of the younger people in management in the company, but when you start to hear about, oh yeah, we might close 10 stores, it doesn't matter if you're one of the up and comers. Maybe I don't lose my job, but all of a sudden my promotion's gone. There's not enough opportunities for promotion anymore because there's, say, 70 of us in BC doing my job. Well, now 10 of you don't have a job.
Yeah.
Oh, now how many promotions are there going to be? Not any, right?
So it helped the decision a bit.
It didn't hurt.
Yeah.
The timing was good.
Yeah.
And now I look at it and they're closing more stores. I mean, the downtown Chilliwack store is closing in a couple
What's
months.
it turning into? Like a Trust Me Foods or something?
Fresh Crow is what it is.
Fresh Co?
Yeah, so that's one of Sobeys banners out east. It's a discount food banner.
We should start a grocery store. Small one. Trust Me Foods.
I like it.
Trust me.
That would probably do well.
It's fine. Trust Me Foods.
Everything's like past the best before date, not expiry date, best before date.
Yeah.
It's
Still okay.
Still good. It's half price. Trust me, it's good.
Anyway. So there you go. Yeah, good timing. So you set the date.
Yeah, and went. And that was in December, just over a year ago, not this recent one. And then started Woodroff Music.
Woodroff Music.
Yeah.
Check out the hat.
Yeah. On the
Hats
hat.
available for sale.
They are now, yeah.
Via
Finally.
Woody's website or
I have a listing on there. I'll actually
go.
activate it now.
Yeah.
I'll let
or you
let
just
that,
message
or just
him
come
on
see
Facebook.
me. Come
or
to the
you probably
studio.
have his phone number.
Yep.
Yeah, check
Yep.
out the studio
So
when the kids aren't sick.
yeah, that's a good idea. You do have to walk through the house. So
Anyway,
careful.
yeah, there you go. So you opened Woodroff Music.
yes.
And what was, I don't even know if you know this, what was your first piece of work?
I do know my first piece of work.
There you go.
I had two first pieces of work. I got them at the same time. And one of them was for a guy named Thomas Krols. And I don't remember a lot about it, to be honest, but it was a piano-based sort of orchestral, cinematic, soft rock song, I
Nice.
guess, like a piano rock
Awesome.
sort of. And it was a mix for that. And so I think I got paid, I think it was $100 or something like that to do it. And I was like, this is great. I got my first job. It was
There you
my
go.
first week.
Yeah.
And I was super stoked. And I did this mix, and it actually is pretty good. I listened to it recently because I started going through my website and adding things to it to have it not be so bare bones. And I was like, do I have any quotes from people I can put on? And I had one from him. So I listened to it. I was like, actually, this turned out pretty good. And then my other one was via a freelance website called Upwork. And this guy was looking for somebody to skim through and remove all the silence from audio. So he had about 10 hours of audio, and he just wanted me to cut out anything that didn't have any talking. And it was in another language.
Yeah.
And as I'm doing this and going through it, it's not really a hard process because you can sort of like separate the silence with a gate and remove it and everything.
yeah.
So I think it took me less time than he thought it would. But
Don't tell him.
I think it was like a recording from a hidden microphone somewhere. I didn't understand the language, but I
So-
got the impression that's what it was.
You've been working for the KGB.
I might have been. I don't know. But that was my other first job. I didn't get paid very much for it.
Yeah.
And it was from somewhere else in the world. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I feel that that's unsafe.
No, that's cool though, man. And from there, you've worked with bands. You've done some of Dylan's music.
Yes. Did
You've-
Bora Bora.
You've started working with Parliament of Owls,
Yes.
by original stuff.
Yeah.
We've released the EP and working on finishing the album
Yep.
at the moment.
Yep.
Another big project was working with Movi,
Yes.
who is an international recording
Yep.
artist.
He just went from Berlin to London.
Yeah.
Played a show at the time of recording this. Played a show last night, London time last night. So it's
Yeah.
like a day and a half ago.
Yeah.
That went pretty well as far as I know.
So I want to mention this before I forget. There's lots of music you've recorded that people can check out on your Spotify playlist.
Yes.
Right?
So I have a Spotify
Or
playlist
your website.
or my
There's-
website, links to my SoundCloud. My SoundCloud though is more of like a specific purpose, like portfolio thing. Like, hey, here's an acoustic song I did. Here's a rock song I did. Here's a hip hop song I did.
Yeah.
But I try to keep a Spotify playlist up to date with everything that I've touched in some way to listen to.
Yeah. You've touched me in a way.
And yes, in a few ways.
And from there, the biggest recent happenings at Woodroff Music is something special to do with an ancient board game.
So
let's quickly touch base on that.
let's talk
And
about
I've
that.
got some samples here.
Because that was interesting. So my January.
Also,
Yeah.
sorry, if you guys hear any angry yells and a door slamming, it's because my wife said we had to be finished by now, and she's
is now
leaving.
7:15.
She's going out with the kindergarten moms.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping she gets Haven set up on the iPad upstairs because this is going great.
Yeah, we've got to
got a
finish
bit more
this.
to cover.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, I love you. Thanks for doing what you can, and hopefully leaving quietly-ish.
And if she doesn't, we understand.
Yeah, it's fine. There's just a bit of background noise.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So my January, I'm not a big New Year's resolutioner,
okay.
but I had a commitment to myself for 2019. So I guess that's a New Year's resolution that I wanted to play chess
By definition.
more.
Oh, you wanted to play more.
I wanted to play more.
Cool.
And I was like, I enjoyed playing, and I don't know why I stopped.
Yeah.
So I want to play more. I'm not good, but a way to force myself to be great would be to commit to play a tournament, a live tournament in 2019.
Nice.
I was like, that's what I'm going to do. That's my thing. I want to do that. So I reactivated my account from 2011, I think, on chess.com. Filled out my bio, chess.com.
Yeah.
Filled out my bio with what I currently do for work and everything. I updated my profile like a responsible user of a website. And then I started playing. And a couple weeks later, I get a message, an automated message that they're looking for people for certain jobs, like programming and stuff. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool, but I don't know how to do that. So whatever. And then I get a message from the CEO directly, whose name is Eric. And just says, hey, we're looking for an audio engineer.
Eric. Hey.
His name's Eric. Yeah. We're looking for an audio engineer. If it's up your alley, fill out this form. I was like, that's weird and cool. But
Awesome.
And it wasn't through my website. It was through the chess.com website, through my profile.
You must have a great profile.
It was all right. I had a photo
What's
of
your
me.
picture? Is it like a bunch of chess pieces?
No. So
like
it's actually a photo of when Movi was in the studio doing a New Balance photo shoot.
nice.
The photographer
Professional
grabbed a couple shots of me
Yeah.
that I could use for my
There you go.
website.
So it is very helpful. But so Eric messaged you?
Yeah, it said fill this out. So I filled it out. I was like, this is cool. I don't know what this is. I'm not looking for a standard job, but audio engineering is audio engineering. This is super cool.
Yeah.
So I reply, we chat a bit by email, and
Are you reading what I'm texting? I'm
no,
telling my wife. I
imagining
love
you're-
you. Sorry, we're not finished yet.
I'm actually trying not to read, but then it's distracting me to not look at what you're doing. So
Anyway, okay.
So yeah, we talk a bit. He's like, yeah, let's just get started. I want to do some new sounds, some new noises. I want to do, I told him that I'm good with voiceover. I've done voiceover and narration. So I said, I can help you with that. I've heard some opportunities on the site in your lessons,
Yep.
He's like, cool. All that sounds great. Let's get started.
Let's do it. So let's set up this first clip,
Sure.
which will come and go very quickly.
It's very
we'll
short.
Probably play it twice.
Yeah.
You labeled this one result good.
Okay.
Let's hear that again. And one more time. So you made that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you even think of that? So this is a sound that they'll be using on chess.com.
Yes.
The biggest chess
And
website I'm guessing in the world.
Now I should take a second because
Yeah.
I did when I started working a sound contract again.
Right.
That's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
That's theirs, and I'm privileged to have been involved with the creation, but I have no right or anything to it.
Right.
Let's just be clear.
Gotcha.
That is a product of chess.com. And I just happened to be the person who made it while under their hire. I was a work for hire.
So what is the good result that came from this sound?
So that sound is for a game that they have on their site called Puzzle Rush, and it's a 5-minute game to complete as many puzzles as you can. And at the end of it, if you have a good score compared to your average,
That sound
plays. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
See if you guys can guess what this sound is. One more time for the listeners. It's a countdown.
Yeah, it is.
Countdown.
It's a countdown.
Yeah.
So that's how the Puzzle Rush game starts.
Ah,
Yeah.
right on.
3, 2, 1.
So
go.
if you're interested in hearing more of Woody's chess sounds,
Yes.
head to chess.com.
I have 27 live right now.
That's awesome, man.
27 sounds, and I think we worked it out that the sum of all the sounds, so one of my sounds will be heard approximately 210 million times a day.
Whoa, sorry, run that by me again.
With the number of players and the number of games that get played a day, the rough math was that with 27 sounds being live on the site,
That's crazy.
about 210 million times a day, one of them will be played. People will hear it.
That's pretty cool.
So
So it's
that's
not royalty based, though, is it?
It's not. No, I asked about that. I said, "Well, I know it's not royalty based, but can we submit for like a RCAA gold record or something? Like, can I get something?" So I've never tried, but I mean, it's a lot of plays.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's a pretty big development. It could be a good ongoing gig for you.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the company is very much a work. I mean, they're full-time people.
Yeah.
I'm a contractor, so I'm a as needed person. It's like, hey, we have this project,
yeah.
do it. But that's perfect for me because it's just like any other band or anything else. It just happens to be a corporation that runs the most popular chess site in the world.
awesome.
Yeah.
So that's that's some of the other, I would say, kind of odd jobs that you're doing as well as music stuff.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's another thing because, like you said, you've always been interested and wanted to know more and more and learn and do more of the technical or recording engineering side of music, or just sound in general, which is exactly what this is. So it's cool. That's why I was so interested in having you in here, kind of someone else living their dream, as people always say. And I mean, sometimes it's still work, but
Work
it's
is work,
It's working what you want to do.
Yeah.
Whereas working at Safeway was probably not what you wanted to do.
No, I was good at it.
Yeah, you were
but it
good
wasn't
at it.
what I loved doing.
No.
So I, if I had a great day at Safeway, I felt fine.
Yeah.
If I have a bad day at work, I feel fine now.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's the scales moved.
I want to play these guys. So now in your original music life, you've started kind of writing and recording and releasing something once a month, is it? Or
It was that. So I started
for the first few months that you were.
I started
live.
that because I was coming up to my 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And I had a really busy start, and I started having a little bit more free time in the last couple of months. And I was like, well, I don't want to not do something. And I know that there's peaks and valleys and slow times, so I wanted to just keep making music. And so I was like, I'm going to make a song a month and release it until my 1-year anniversary of the business.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah. That's awesome. And so we'll fire one of these up. This is when you did that has a couple of remixes. We'll play it, and then we can talk about that.
Cool.
This one's called "The Blue" by Brendan Woodroff.
That's me.
Love this guitar.
Sounds great.
I was a mess, not at my best. I may have been a bit untrue. She wrote a song, I played along, said she called it me and you. Invited me to meet her friends that night. Well, I looked at her, I said it's not my style. She said it's better on the other side. I don't wanna be stuck inside this blue.
So good, man.
The only thing I'm stuck on's you.
Pretty cool, man.
Thanks, dude.
So again, you can head Spotify.
Yep.
Check
Apple
that one
Music,
out. Apple
you
Music,
name it,
anything under Brendan
Woodroff.
Woodroff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's quite a bit of music out there already.
Yeah, there's
under your
5 or
name.
6, I think.
Yeah. So that's great. So that's something else you've been working on just in your studio, doing all that, all the instruments and all the mixing and engineering is all you.
Yep.
So good time to point out, if you guys know any bands looking to record stuff, the studio's based in Chilliwack.
Yep.
And if you need to get a hold of Woody, we'll tag his Instagram
We'll
on
fit-
there,
we'll get
or
around.
just get a hold of me if you know me. And yeah, it's a great spot, or anything you need done, really.
Anything audio related.
Any like jingles, you've been writing jingles.
I've been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I knew when I started it. I
it
knew
was going to
that
be kind of odd jobs,
Yeah.
a bit of everything.
I know that the dream is always doing music, and there's a certain point where you get to maybe just do that.
Yeah,
But the short term is never as clear of a picture. The short term is always like, how do I make sure that next month I'm still doing this?
Yeah.
And so I had the attitude of never say no to a job. I didn't care what it was.
Yeah.
They said, you have a studio. Do you do this? I do.
yeah.
And my first narration came because they said, do you do voiceover? And I said, yeah, definitely. Do you know ACH standards? Yeah, I totally do. ACH standards. What's that?
Google, YouTube, ATX
yep.
standards.
And
Perfect.
so-
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I recorded that.
ATX.
Obviously, yeah.
yeah.
Done it a million times. And that's how I got into this other work. And it opened my eyes to this other area of it, which, to be honest, I find it just as enjoyable. Anything to do with audio actually just makes me happy to work on. So.
Cool. Yeah. That's awesome, man. So I mean, that's a pretty good, that's where we're at career wise and music wise in your life. Woody's still playing with us, big shiny stuff, doing 90s, whatever. Lots of his own original music, helping myself with Parliament of Owls, myself and Jamie, musical partner Jamie, not life partner Jamie, who's still waiting to leave. I'm like, go ahead, you can leave. Okay. Haven's in our room upstairs.
She's fine.
iPad. She'll
Got at least 20 minutes.
virtual babysitter. I know, yeah, we'll be wrapping up pretty quick. I wanted to talk a bit of sports with you, though.
Yeah.
Because Woody and I are season ticket holders for the Vancouver Canucks.
That's right.
We share it with a couple other guys.
So second year is coming to a close.
Yeah,
Well, not close, but getting there. Yeah.
We'll start to pay for our third year soon.
Yes.
We're renewing, right?
Yes. Oh, I imagine so.
Yeah.
Not dropping any bombshells on the podcast.
No,
are we?
no,
Okay.
I'm in.
I'm still in. So
Yeah, I'm still in.
that's a good testament to the health of the business. I haven't needed to cut out my Canucks tickets yet, so I'm good.
And are you season tickets with the Whitecaps, or is that?
No, I would like to be.
Yeah, but you go to quite a few games.
Whenever I can.
Yeah.
And Carly and I talked about it for this year to see if it would work, but so many of the games are on Saturdays or Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
those
it
are
makes it tough.
babysitting days.
Yeah,
So things on Sundays and Mondays are no babysitting days for us, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But so many games are on Saturdays this year that we didn't do it. But we'll probably get tickets to the Sunday games and go to those.
Very cool. So, are you, speaking of the Canucks, I think it's getting a bit easier now, or are you a definitive team tank or playoff chase fan right now?
I mean,
Because there's still a glimmer. I would say
know.
it's down to a glimmer for the playoffs, which I'm 100% team playoff race.
yeah,
But the last couple losses have freaking
they put us in a different spot.
Yeah.
The way I look at it is if you're not getting a top 3 draft pick,
It's a crapshoot.
yeah, I mean, you can get somebody at 20
Yeah.
that's better than someone at 5.
Yeah.
Top 3 is usually pretty solid. But in terms of NHL development, you doesn't really matter. So you might as well get your guys some playoff experience.
I know. Yeah. I love where we're at as an organization with the prospects.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, really. Like there's, if these guys pan out, I think we're in a good spot. Like you can see it already this year.
Yeah.
I think right now they're hitting a wall. Some of the young guys aren't used to playing this
It's
tough and this long, and they're just still figuring it out. So they're running out of gas. And
yeah. And
so I don't know if it'll
do
happen.
this a bit.
I'll be very happy if they make a push and
Sure.
and make it, but they need to play some really good hockey.
A 4-0 first round playoff series. If we get swept in the first round,
Yeah.
that's 4 games that these kids get of playoff hockey.
Yeah.
And it's different.
Yeah.
Right? It's a different intensity, and they may not be ready, but at least they'll know what they're working towards.
I think you and I are the best type of Canucks fans. Mm-hmm. We're optimists.
Yeah.
We understand what's going on, but
Yeah.
at least we're positive. Sometimes those guys who they call themselves fans and they're so negative and they're like, oh, they need to tank and this team sucks.
Mm-hmm.
They still need this and that and that. And it's like, man, why are you even a fan?
It doesn't
Don't
make
you want
sense.
them to win?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, do you enjoy this at all?
Like as much as if we were in last
Yeah.
or if we were 2 points out of last, I might show up and be like, I obviously want to see goals, but let's
Yeah.
lose 5-4 or something like
Yeah,
that.
I've been
like,
there.
like-
But I'm still happy if they win.
but I'm not.
Especially
Yeah,
if you're
I'm not
at the game.
angry if we win.
Yeah.
That's the difference, maybe. And I don't take it personally either way. I mean, it's entertainment and it's good, and they're not working. They're not working hard.
Yeah, no,
Right?
not at all.
That's the thing too. People get on these, especially these kids. They're like, "Oh, why didn't you put that in? Or why didn't you do this?" Someone was there beside me 2 games ago, screaming at Pouliot,
Yeah.
just screaming about how he's the worst player on the ice, and the goal went in. He's like, "It's all Pouliot's effing fault." Blah. He wasn't even on the ice. I didn't even want to point it out because I didn't want to go there with him. But
No.
he wasn't even on the ice.
Anyway, well, go Canucks, go.
Yeah,
Do you have
absolutely.
any games left this year?
3, 4,
Yeah.
3
Oh.
or 4.
I've
I got
used up
lots.
all mine.
Yeah, I got 1 more with 2 tickets. I have 2 games with Wayne and 1
right,
with Adam. My one with Adam, I think, is on the 8th. And then I have back-to-back Wednesdays with Wayne. So sorry, Parliament of Owls, but Owls Wednesday will be
Oh yeah, that's
off
fine.
for 2
We're
weeks.
gonna book a Saturday.
I
Here pretty quick.
figured that would happen to finish some stuff. So
Yeah, that's cool, man. We are kind of up against it here, memory card wise, because I told you that memory cards
like 115 or
messing up
something,
on me.
right? Yeah.
But I think we need to get you. You were gonna do a song for us
Yeah,
to finish
right.
it off.
Yeah,
one
sure.
of your new tunes.
Yeah.
So thank
I
you guys for
honestly
checking this
forgot.
out. We're gonna get Woody set up to do this tune. Yeah, grab it, man. Watch your headphones. And then that'll be it. But thanks for checking it out. Make sure you subscribe. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Go to my YouTube channel if you can and just hit subscribe, even if you don't watch them there. I need a few more stats. Get us on Instagram at Andrew Christopher Music and at
B.Woodroff.
and make sure you check out Woodroff Music and all the music he's been working on. And if you need any help, hit him up. Thanks, guys. Woody, what's this song called? Does it have a name?
This is a song I started working on called Cold Call. And it's not, I'm going to give you the typical artist thing where it's like, it's not done yet, but
Here we go.
I'll see if I can play it, see if I can remember the lyrics.
Yeah,
all
we'll
those-
check it out. And this has been the first in the AC Show Artist Showcase series.
Sleep. Only see you in my sleep. Only write to you in tragedies, in exaggerated speech. I've been weak back when I see you once a week, but it's been months now since our last retreat, and I thought you'd forgotten me. Yeah, you hit me with that cold call. My phone, it sings that old familiar song, and I'm giving you that brick wall, girl, yeah. Don't need to feel that old familiar wrong when you hit me with that. Dreams, I thought I killed you in my dreams. I finally let go of that memory and got back to being me, yeah. You hit me with that cold call. My phone, it sings that old familiar song, and I'm giving you that brick wall, girl, yeah. No need to feel that old familiar wrong. You hit me with that cold call. My phone sings that old familiar song, and I'm giving you that brick wall, girl, yeah.
Don't need to feel that old familiar, oh, you hit me with that cold call. My phone sings that old familiar song, and I'm giving you that brick wall, girl, yeah. Don't need to feel that old familiar wrong. You hit me with that cold call. You hit me with that cold call. You hit me with that cold call, yeah. No need to feel that oh familiar, oh familiar, oh familiar wrong. You hit me with that cold call.
Woo! Yeah.
Fucking A, buddy.